Okay, here, I'll show you guys really quick while that dries before we move on to the next sign. And don't worry, we're not just going to do all signs tonight. We're going to do some other stuff too, but I wanted to get a couple of these out of the way to make sure my ideas would be good. But let me grab a piece of paper or a piece of cardstock. Here's a couple of cheap Sharpies. Okay. Yeah, okay. So what I've learned, just messing around trying to emulate graffiti. By the way, guys, thank you for the 26 likes. I really appreciate it. 41 people stopping by tonight. So I'm just gonna do my name. Well, I'll do my name and my pseudonym. So Jordan and Euler. So if I were to write my name like a normal handwriting, if I can even, my pen's working. That pen is not working. Of course. Let's try that again. There we go. Jordan. Jordan or Euler. O-I-L-E-R. I always write that like lowercase. Jordan or Euler. I have terrible handwriting. But so I find if you write in non-cursive and you don't pick up the pen, it already starts to look like graffiti. So let me show you that. So that's my name without picking up the pen. It's already starting to look a little graffiti-esque. So if you just taking that and putting a couple of dashes on it and a little arrow, already starts to look like graffiti. So if I take, again, if I take that and I start to like hyper exaggerate some of the swoops, no, not good. Not a good example. Let me try that again. I'm thinking too hard. The key is to not think about it. There you go. So I kind of, some of the curves I just decided to over exaggerate. I do a couple of these, a little arrow, a couple of dashes. There you go. Let's try Euler. Right, he's like, that's a little goofy, but you can see how you can just kind of take that idea and keep going. That's basically what I did, is I started writing stuff regular and then just started not picking up my pen, not letting myself write cursive and just letting it run together. And I suppose if you did it in cursive and then over-exaggerated, or they'll over-exaggerate a certain way too, where they'll like, every curl will be up. Like they'll make sure every time they go up, they do a big curl up like that. So they'll do something like, all right, that's my name. And what I did was I intentionally curled up really far when I went to the next letter, right? So you start to get a style. So stuff like that, you know. And then bubble letters that's something I remember figuring out in elementary school. So you just basically trace the letter as if it would got inflated. So J and O and R would be like this, like you'd trace the letter. So this is how I was shown this by a kid who was doing graffiti in elementary school. So you basically trace them like that. And then when there's a hole in the letter, you do like a little curve. So if I were to do this just by itself, right, kind of looks something like this. Something like that. So got a little butt on my R. But I started with the letters and you put a bubble around them. So you just draw them without the letter inside of them. And then when there's a hole, you do like a little dash, right? That's the basic idea. Obviously, you know, there's plenty of artists out there who are way better at this than I am. But this is where I usually like good starting points when I do my graffiti. So anyways, there's your super quick how I do graffiti sometimes tutorial. If you like what you saw, you can go check out the live stream that was cut from on my OWR Live playlist. I go live as often as I'm able to on Sundays and do all that live for people, with people, act like a dork, make a fool of myself, and have fun making art. And you can come by and witness it live. So go check out the OWR Live playlist if you want to see the full cut of the video that came from. Thanks for coming by. I hope you had fun. Have a good day and go make some graffiti not on public walls.